Welcome from the deep. I am Mike.
And I'm Brett.
And today we're going to be talking about the 1986 film, The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum. Not Bloom. Goldblum.
You have to say it the way a fish would sound if it had vocal cords. Goldblum. I just imagine just bubbles. Just Goldblum.
That reminds me of that How I Met Your Mother joke. Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. So anyway, today we're talking about The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum, the man, the myth, the legend, The Fly. I picked this movie. This is a me pick. I don't know if that's obvious or not, but this is a me pick.
It should be by now.
I picked this movie because we recently watched, what was the other movie of his that we recently watched from Cronenberg? It was Videodrome.
Videodrome.
The last episode we did was Videodrome. And I know that was a while back, but we're here now, so get the fuck over it. So I really wanted you, in that episode, I had mentioned, like, wait a minute, you've never seen The Fly, but
no.
You had not seen a lot of Cronenberg's movies other than now Videodrome and Naked Lunch.
Naked Lunch. I actually, hang on, because you have to see this. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, here it is. This is the Criterion version of Naked Lunch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dude, yeah. This is we have talked about my propensity when I was younger to watch super fucked up movies under less than ideal headspaces, a la Hostel 2 on and this was another one that I chose to do that with. Not The Fly. Those days are behind me. Naked Lunch was one of those ones that I did, and
That's
Naked Lunch is one of those ones. But bro,
that one's real
just
trippy.
Watch it going like.
Yeah, that one's real weird and real trippy. So you had never seen this before, though, right?
No. This has been on my watch list for a long time because this is right up my alley. It's sci-fi horror. This is right up my alley. And god damn, this one didn't disappoint.
Yeah, dude. Well, not to mention it's got Geena Davis in it. I've got such a soft spot for Geena Davis. She was like in some of my favorite movies growing up. I don't know about you. Do you like Geena Davis as much as I do? Were you watching Thelma and Louise?
I don't know if I like her as much as you do with the tone you just took.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. No, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, when I was a kid, she was in fucking everything.
Yeah. The only thing I really have a good memory of her from is Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's the main movie that I grew up watching over and over again. Now I'm flipping through her credits.
Good Lord.
And you got to go real far back, but do you remember the Geena Davis show? It's only 22 episodes apparently.
Oh. What is it, like
Sexy
a variety
and
hour
sophisticated
thing?
Manhattan party planner Teddy Cochran starts dating writer Max Ryan. Oh, it's like a straight sitcom.
It's a sitcom. It's called the Geena Davis Show, but Geena Davis is in it as Geena Davis.
I vaguely remember this. I really like shitty sitcoms. This is a thing about me that I really enjoy shitty sitcoms. This looks fun. I might have to track this down. But yeah, I really like Geena Davis. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's fucking great in absolutely everything basically he's ever done. And not to mention you throw Cronenberg on top of this. And this is just like the perfect cast, the perfect director, and the perfect remake. We always complain about movies being remakes, and this feels like its own thing. Which is why it's okay for it to be a remake, because it feels like its own version.
I think, I was thinking about that while I was watching it, and I think the reason that it's okay for it being a remake and it's good as a remake because they remade it with passion and not dollars in mind.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing. They remade it because they wanted to redo The Fly. I have a feeling Cronenberg redid this because he was like, I can do that. I can do it in my way, and it might not be better. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if you can really say it's better, but I can do it in my way. I can make it my own rather than for the sake of rehashing just to make some money, just to revamp a series. Like, it wasn't, I don't feel like it was done for that reason. And when you watch this, you can really see they really put their all into this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that does really make this stand out as a remake is, like you said, this feels like it comes from love of the original source material. Now,
yeah,
I have the box set here from Scream Factory. I don't know if
you do.
I don't know if this is still in print. If I'm gonna be real honest, I have no idea. But this is a remake of this movie, which is the original Fly movie. The stars Vincent Price, and it's like, I haven't seen this in many years at this point, so I'm not quite super fresh on it. Probably should have watched it for this, but this is almost a straight remake of this, except for some key details. Specifically body horror and like abortion stuff. And there's some stuff that is not in this, obviously, just because this was made in 1958. And this is made 30 years later. So, it gets much grosser with the body horror and much more shocking with the horror elements in this movie than it does the original. But the thing is that this, if you have never seen the original, this completely stands on its own as its own thing. And like you said, it really feels like Cronenberg came at this from love and intention rather than being hired, like a hired director for hire position to make some shitty remake.
You can't remake a Vincent Price movie and not put your all into it.
Well, and that's the thing is, if you have
House on Haunted Hill is another great example.
Yes. If you have a love for the source material and horror as a genre, as we've talked about I think I had to pull that episode down because there were audio issues in it, but we reviewed the new, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And the thing that we were screaming about in that episode was, this doesn't feel like it was made by people that love the genre or the original source material. And
they didn't.
When we look at stuff like this, it's really obvious why we're screaming about stuff like that modern day, where they just have directors for hire to make these new adaptations. And those people, try as they might, just don't have the love for the source material and the genre like somebody like Cronenberg does, who obviously, I don't have proof of this either, but it really feels like this came from love of the original movie and Vincent Price's work.
I feel like with remakes, there's never there's usually not a good reason for remakes to ever exist. Or let me rephrase it. There's rarely a good reason for a remake to exist. Like a good reason.
Yeah.
Money is not a good reason. I feel like it's up to the filmmakers to find the reason to remake a movie, especially when it's a classic. And
this is the perfect reason.
I think Cronenberg found his reason. Yeah.
Well, because it like, if you I know you haven't seen it, but if you look at the original Fly, what they were doing was really incredible, and the makeup in that one's actually really good too. But I feel like what he did was he looked at this 25 to 30 years later and went, that with new special effects could be incredible. That's what like the core idea of this feels like. The original, but with killer special effects. And
yeah,
that's what it is. And that's why it works, is because it's not just, I want to remake The Fly because it has recognition and like it has brand recognition and everybody will go see it just based on name alone. Because I don't know if that was the decision for this at all. It may be how he got it off the ground or greenlit, or I don't know the situation behind it. But you can feel the intention behind it, which is what we're always fucking yelling about. If you feel like the person has good intentions and love for the source material, then it is going to come across in the film, and that's exactly what this is. So,
yep.
With all that out of the way, do you want to give us a synopsis of The Fly from 1986?
Oh, buddy, do I ever. Oh, God.
Oh, he dropped his phone. Oh, Lord.
I dropped my phone. The Fly from 1986 is the memory of puberty that RFK Jr.'s brainworm feeds him when he thinks about his teen years. And I have read that
Gross.
a couple times, and I still think it works. I still think that works. Because I feel like if you watch this from a certain point of view, it kind of is a movie about puberty.
I mean, in a way
going
that
through
it's...
puberty, his little coarse hairs start popping out like one by one, and then he turns into something different.
Yeah, that's really gross.
It's a PSA about puberty.
All right, well, the one sentence synopsis.
I don't think IMDb's is going to be much different.
On IMDb, a brilliant but eccentric scientist begins to transform into a giant man/fly hybrid after one of his experiments goes horribly wrong.
Puberty!
It doesn't say puberty, though.
No.
That is.
But we all turn into giant monsters when we go through puberty and our innocence is gone. You just described puberty, my friend.
I mean, that is the subtext if you read into it in that way. I don't know. I think the subtext behind this is like, you fuck with nature and you're gonna get fucked. Like if you start fucking with things that you shouldn't be fucking with, that you don't fully understand, you're gonna get fucked. And
or you could take a pro-human approach and consider that nature is always getting in the way of our progress, which is why we have to burn the planet.
Yeah, fuck this planet. We don't need it. Let's go to Mars and fuck that planet up. But I don't know.
You and I aren't getting taken to Mars, buddy. I hate to break it to you. We don't fall into that. We're not in that tax bracket.
We die penniless on this planet with smog filling our lungs and no food in our bellies. God, the future is bright. All right. Well, on that depressing ass note,
the present's bleak.
On that depressing ass note, why don't you give me your overall thoughts on The Fly? I will give you mine. We'll talk about specifics / spoilers, and then we'll give our ratings toward the end. Well, why don't you go first?
Sorry. Coffee and digestion. Overall, dude, like this was, like I said before, this was right up my fucking alley. The start of it almost just kind of gets into the movie. I mean, we are introduced to Geena Davis and Jeff Goldblum right off the bat. There is setup. There is definitely character development, so don't get me wrong. But we just kind of go right into, he has this experiment, this invention that he's been working on. He is already like on this trajectory. We come into him on the tail end of him finalizing this invention. And so there's not really a lot of time and space to get bored. And the trajectory of it just keeps going. The special effects in this are phenomenal. Like me watching his transformation at the very end, I was literally sitting here watching the movie, and I don't get this reaction very often in like the climax of a movie, but the whole climax of this movie is me going.
You're talking about toward the end? Yeah.
Dude, towards the end. Yeah. Like it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the movie just keeps rolling along in a good way. Every scene is interesting. Every scene has a reason for existing, and I feel like that's not something you get in horror a lot. Oftentimes, oftentimes in horror, there'll be a point in the movie where, you know, the energy does dip a little bit. Not that that's always like a bad thing, but I feel like this whole movie is the roller coaster climb to the top with a very satisfying drop at the end.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely agree with that. The thing is like it's an hour and 36, and it fucking goes like that because you're wrapped up in his plot to make this work at first, and then it changes sort of mid movie around the middle of Act 2 on what you're focused on, and like just the whole entire story is riveting top to bottom. If I had to say anything about it, I would say he doesn't really spend it, and this is something that if they were going to remake this now, they would spend 25 minutes on, but I don't think they spend quite enough time.
Don't say that. Something terrible will happen.
I just don't think they spend quite enough time setting up their relationship in order for me to believe how much she cares about him going forward. That is my only knock against this, because the pacing is so quick. But outside of that, the pacing works as a horror movie spectacularly. It's insane how well this is written and how well it's fucking paced in everything.
I have this image of like the end suit just sitting off in the corner, and Cronenberg just rushing through the beginning shots and just like, we gotta get to the end. I gotta use that thing. I gotta use that thing. I gotta use that thing. I gotta use that thing.
But I mean, I definitely agree with you, dude. It's a beautiful movie, like top to bottom. The other thing is like the cinematography and the lighting in this film is fucking incredible. I was sitting here watching it, especially toward the end, that scene that you're talking about, like toward the very, very end.
Yeah.
All I kept thinking was, if they shot this now, it would be gray and black. You wouldn't be able to see most of the set. It would be so fucking dark. They'd have one fucking spotlight on Geena Davis's face, and that's all you'd be able to see because they want it to be dark and spooky. You'd get quick little flashes of the fly. You wouldn't like have that shot from like inside the pod, which is probably my favorite shot of the monster, when she is in the pod, locked in the pod, and it looks outside and it's just the monster right outside the pod. It's fucking incredible. And dude, the special effects are just insane. I love it top to bottom. I think this is one of Cronenberg's best movies. And can you see now, when I said in Videodrome that you use his grossness in a way that accents like the plot, and it is this beautiful merging of grossness and narrative that just fucking is so hard to look away from, just regardless of how gross it is.
The only part that was like really gross to me was when dude loses his foot in his hand. Yeah. Like that was like when I watched that, I was like,
that's the grossest part, when he throws up on the dude's hand.
Although I will say, with that, when he throws up on the donut, his delivery on, "Oh, that's disgusting." It was like, yeah, dude, it fucking was.
Well, and that's why he's so good in this, dude. It's because he rides that line of comedy and drama so fucking well. Like when his tooth falls out and he starts naming it the institute, or the Natural History Museum of Brundle. It's
a relic.
It's fucking gross, but it's also funny and witty, and regardless of the situation that he's in, he's still got this charm to it.
Well, dude, it's very seldom that we find an actor playing a character and we go, I can't see anybody else doing it.
Yeah. For sure.
And I can't see anybody else doing this. I mean, obviously somebody else did do it, Vincent Price, but it as far as meeting the vibe of the overall movie, I can't imagine anybody else doing Cronenberg's The Fly. I don't think Vincent Price works as The Fly in a Cronenberg version of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and like I said, it's because he's charming. Like, and the thing I love about the narrative in this is that we literally watch him go from protagonist, and this is a spoiler, but if you haven't seen The Fly or know the story of The Fly, I don't know what fucking planet you're from, but we literally watch him go from...
Hang on. This is the first time I watched it. I don't think you
didn't know the story of it, even from like Tiny Toons or like pop culture at all.
I mean, okay, sort of. I had an idea. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
My point is like we watch the Brundle go from protagonist into monster, and it's one of the few movies where when that happens, you literally feel for him the entire fucking time. That end scene, we'll get into spoilers a little bit here, but that end scene is powerful because we followed him from scientist to monster. And it is powerful because we followed their relationship leading up into it. It's even more of a gut punch because we find out she's fucking pregnant in the middle of this, which throws this huge fucking wrench into everything. She panics about it. Dude, it's just It's perfect. The writing in this movie is fucking perfect. And granted, they had something to work off of beforehand, but he turned a black and white monster movie into a modern 80s horror monster movie, and it is fucking flawless because of how narrative driven it is, because of how emotional and powerful the fucking story arc is.
Dude, that abortion scene, or the attempted abortion scene, was like
she's got range there too, where she's screaming, "I don't want it in me. I just got to get it out of me." Like, fuck.
Yeah. No. Well, to be fair, that's how I feel every single time I see a child in the wild. Anyway, but that whole scene is just like it's impactful. I think is the best. This whole movie is impactful, and I think that's the best way to describe the entire movie.
Well, it also feels like that the pregnancy thing is like so perfectly timed in the script that if you did it any earlier or you did it any later, it wouldn't make any fucking sense. And it forces him to come out into public and get her to try to stop her. I love the like almost Hunchback of Notre Dame sort of shot from the roof when she's explaining like, I got to get this thing out of me. And he's up on the roof watching all this happen. It's so dramatic and so perfect. And I just kept thinking how dark and serious this would be if they made this now, and how it would undercut the entire feeling that this movie has. The fact that it's serious, but it's also got this underlying like almost like you're in on the joke of how fucking ridiculous this is. And that's part of why it's so fucking charming, which is also why Goldblum is so perfect for it.
I do love that my interpretation of his name has now taken hold of this entire episode.
Yes, Goldblum. So that's kind of where I'm sitting on the fly.
Don't sit on the fly. He's having a hard enough time. Didn't you watch this movie? No, so we got to talk about this end scene though. Yeah, we have to talk about this end scene.
Yeah,
because I mean, dude, the transformation is it's very seldom that we get to see a transformation that's well paced, but he transforms through 80% of this fucking movie, dude. He is transforming the whole time, and the pacing of his transformation through this whole movie is a big part of what makes the ending so impactful and so insane.
Yeah, because the ending is very cliche. Like, you expect it and you see it coming, but even though you see it coming, it still feels powerful because we've spent an hour and a half leading up into that, like placing him, like giving him sympathy. And so it's like this scene falls, and it like really, and not to mention, she is just so goddamn good in this. Like her reaction to having to kill him is incredible. Like, just it's short of like, if you get that performance now, you'd win a fucking Oscar or some shit. You'd straight up win some fucking thing. But because it's in a horror movie, it would never happen.
I do have one question. Do you think that for like 1 second, right before she shot him, she wanted to fuck him again, right?
That's gross.
Like she wanted to fuck him again, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. Here is what I wanted to touch on. That's fucking gross. So
put your dissolving juice on me.
That's disgusting. So, oh God, I just had the worst image of my head pop up when you said that. So here's the thing I wanted to touch on. I made a solo review a few years back about The Howling. And I raved about the transformation scene in The Howling. And I compared it a lot to American Werewolf in London because it was the same special effects team and blah, 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 blah. When we actually are watching the bug eyes and shit come out of his head, dude, it is one of the best practical transformation scenes, and it goes head to head with American Werewolf in London any fucking day of the week. It is so goddamn good and so powerful and so gross. And because the narrative is so strong, there's so much emotion that goes into that scene. Unlike The Howling and American Werewolf in London, where there is some narrative stuff behind that transformation. But in this, so much time has been spent into giving him character and story and emotion and depth that you really feel this transformation scene more than any of those other movies.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely, I mean, I can't think of a better one that I've seen, if I'm being honest. I can't think of a better one.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have the depraved experience with movies that you do.
I mean, so you keep I'm sure saying that, but you've been watching horrible shit. You watch a lot more horrible shit nowadays than I do.
Bro,
that's the truth. That's the straight truth.
And you know the funny thing is, we can't review any of them.
I know. Nobody will
can't review any of them.
Yeah.
We can review Solo. It's in the Criterion collection. Yeah. And I keep saying I think we should. It's a fucked up movie. It is a hard movie to get through. It really is.
Did you guys end up, I saw it in chat. Did you guys end up watching Visitor Q or no?
No.
I watched that yet. At like 18 and it really fucked me up.
You need a therapist.
Do you know what happens in that movie?
No. Is it terrible?
I think I've told you this before. It's bad. This guy finds out his and he ends up his to be his, and in the middle of it, I think she while and he can body.
My God,
it gets worse. And
oh my God,
and he gets in. I'm going to cut all this. I'm going to cut all this, by the way. There's no way most of that can, or maybe it'd be really funny if I just did really long bleeps while I was explaining it. But
you should do that.
I'll probably do that. But either way, that I saw that movie. I remember I was living in Fort Smith and one of my roommates was like this hardcore film buff and just had all these fucked up movies on VHS. And he worked at a movie store for a long time before he became a tattoo artist. And he had all these fucked up movies, and that was one that he was like, we all gotta watch this. And like as a group of like 6 or 7 dudes, we sat around and watched that movie. And it is one of the most traumatic experiences of like my semi-adult life.
Oh my God, dude, that's okay. I mean,
so if they try to get you to watch Visitor Q, just be aware of what you're going into with that movie.
I am now.
It's really fucked up. So anyway, The Fly.
Yep, that's the one we're talking about.
So The Fly is, I think, David Cronenberg at his best. I think that if you go into this expecting really harsh grossness, you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you go into this knowing nothing about David Cronenberg, you'll probably be pretty grossed out. I think that this is a very good middle ground between gross and a really well-written, well-directed, high-minded movie. That this is like the perfect middle ground of those two things. Plus it's sci-fi and just good. It's just good. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's just very good.
It's very good.
This is a very good fucking movie. So why don't you go ahead and give me your final thoughts and ratings on The Fly?
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is my favorite Cronenberg movie so far. I will say that. It's right up my alley. It's sci-fi horror. It's got everything you need in a good movie, combined with everything that, in my opinion, makes a good horror movie as well. All the elements of a good film are in here. And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I love this movie. The only issue I really had with it was like you said, like their relationship is a little off. But
yeah,
dude, this is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that this is probably Cronenberg at his absolute best. I think there's elements of like a sweet relationship in here. There's elements of gross special effects. The cinematography and the lighting are both like top tier. Like we didn't touch on it a lot, but top tier. And I think that this is the perfect sweet spot between modern day, everything is so dark you can't see it, and in the past, everything is lit by fucking, giant fucking the fucking fluorescent lights. This is the
4Ks.
Thank you. What?
The 4Ks, like the big lights.
No, like literal fluorescent lights, like fluorescent tubes.
Like
hospitals and schools and shit. Yeah. The lighting and cinematography in this are so fucking good that when you watch some of his other work, it's almost like, well, I know that didn't have as much of a budget, but you clearly know what you're doing. Like, and we saw a little bit of that in Videodrome. Like, there's touches of it. It's good, but it's nowhere near the level that this is at. And this is a whole different ballgame. And I think that this is where he really turns around from being a pretty good horror director to a straight filmmaker. And this is like him at his absolute best. So I too am going to give this a 9 out of 10. The pacing is good, but their relationship, if we gave this another 10 to 15 minutes, just building their relationship so that we feel like they've been together longer than 4 days, all of this would punch even fucking harder, but you'd have to be really careful because this is already an hour 36. So
more sex scenes.
So more sex scenes. Yeah, exactly. Just like everything needs more sex. So yeah, I mean, I think that this is just probably one of the greatest body horror movies ever made. One of the greatest remakes ever made. It's just
I agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
In every goddamn way. And it's hard to find anything wrong with it.
Yep.
So if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you really liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we got more content like this on the channel and more coming in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. We've been getting some new subscribers lately, so thank you for coming in and liking what we're doing. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time from the deep. Bye-bye.